Welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita Khemka.
And I'm Yatin Mota.
Well, Yatin, what a good day it has been for the markets. Not just the Nifty and Sensex, the Nifty Bank Index has hit a fresh high today, and that's something that will be heartening to investors because we've been seeing the Nifty and Sensex hitting fresh highs consistently. But it was a Nifty Bank Index that investors were waiting for to make a breakout and hit that fresh high and remain above that 48,000 level. That's what has happened today. And if you look at the broader end of the markets, surprisingly, that end of the markets was underperforming today, even though there were quite a few movers and shakers in that end of the markets. We'll be talking about that in just a bit. But aside of that, Yatin, another milestone that we achieved was that the BSE listed companies have crossed the market cap of 400,000 lakh crore rupees. So that has happened for the first time, and that's a major milestone that we have achieved. But towards the end of the session, when it comes to the breadth, the advance decline ratio had tilted slightly in favor of losers. But autos, today, winners, so to say, given the fact that the likes of Eicher Motors, M&M, all these stocks hit a fresh 52-week high in today's session. Realty as a pocket also has been doing extremely well. FY24 also it was the top sectoral gainer, and it continues its upward move. What didn't do well was the PSU banking pack and IT pack. Of course, there is news flow around IT pack as well. With the Vipro CEO's sudden exit, and of course we're also staring at numbers that will be trickling in Friday onwards. So IT pack also in focus. Let's quickly talk about the individual movers on the index. The likes of Eicher Motors, Maruti, M&M, NTPC, SBI Life, JSW Steel. These were some of the top gainers. On the flip side, you had the likes of Adani Ports, Nestle, on the back of news flow that it will be hiking royalty to parent. That was among the top losers. Apollo Hospital, UPL, Wipro, HCL Tech, all these IT names were under pressure. But Yatin, even though broader end of the markets were underperforming the benchmarks today, but there were quite a few high flyers today.
Yeah.
Take us to them.
So I think Nifty Midcap 100 and Small Cap underperformed the markets today, and to the last 2-3 trading sessions, clearly there was a star performance in the Midcap index. Probably some kind of profit taking in the start of the week, indicating that the advance decline ratio also ended up almost 1:1, which was usually better. Now, if you look at the gainers in the Midcap segment, obviously Exide will talk more on that, but stock ended 18% higher. Naukri, strong billing data across 99acres and Naukri.com, especially in a weak IT hiring environment. We had Naukri, which has seen growth in the billing segment. So that stock was up 10%. We had Amara Raja Batteries, that stock moved 7%. PNC Infrasundaram Finance for the other gainers in trade. What did not do well is REC post the quarterly update. Stock saw a 4% correction. G Shipping, Bandhan Bank, since the RBI has not permitted, the founder CEO Ghosh to really, take the reins back. So he'll retire very, very shortly. Negative sentiments. Jefferies also cut the target price to 190 rupees in trade today. Stock down 6%. Union Bank and other PSU banking stocks, including PNB, were down 2-3% each.
Right, those were some of the movers and shakers in the broader end of the markets, and of course, AC, makers were chilling in trade. Likes of Volta, Symphony, we'll be talking about that also in greater details. But, I want to talk about the big story of the day today, Wipro. Sudden exit coming in from the CEO, the street wasn't really expecting it, so to say. But, given the fact that there were troubles at Wipro, ever since Thierry Delaporte took over, there was a couple of changes in strategies, high acquisitions that didn't go down very well with the street because, growth-wise they didn't deliver. And, of course, the spate of high-level exits, top-level exits that we've been witnessing at Wipro, that was also a bone of contention, So a lot of problems at Wipro, and with this exit, the street will keenly be watching out for what kind of a strategy the new CEO will adopt. Of course, last 2 times we had CEOs who were external candidates, but this time around, Srinivas Pallia, who's, he's a veteran at Wipro, and he's been appointed as the CEO for the next 5 years. He's heading the Americas division, and now he will be becoming the CEO for the next 5 years, as I mentioned. Delaporte had taken over back in COVID, And ever since he took over the first year, the stock delivered 70% kind of returns. But if you look at what the company has done in 2023, it has underperformed its peers. Every quarter of FY24, it has ended with negative growth. So lots of problems. And with this exit, even the brokerages are saying that although it was sudden, but the street may take it, or in fact may take it in a good way, given the fact that the person who will be leading the company will be an insider, and he will put into place some strategies to revive growth. So that is something that the street will be watching out for. His task is cut out because he also has to boost the morale of employees, right? As I mentioned, a lot of top level senior exits has happened. CFO, growth officer, all of them have resigned in recent times. If you look at what street has to say, Citi has maintained its sell rating, target price of 440. CLSA maintained its sell rating as well, target price of 445. Morgan Stanley says that this is a negative surprise, but of course, given the fact that we will have the company's earnings, in a few days, street will watch out for whether or not there's some color as to what kind of a strategy the new CEO will adopt. Nomura is saying the same thing, saying that the investors are awaiting the new CEO strategy, which could come in the next 1 to 2 quarters. So let's see. All in all, the task is cut out for the new CEO, but some comfort could be taken from the fact that it's an insider who's going to lead the company, and he would get a head start, which will be a little more quick compared to when an outsider would have come.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of articles on Moneycontrol for Wipro and what's exactly happening in there. Overall, yes, as Nandita was mentioning, the strategy from the new CEO is something that the street will await. But something that the street really appreciated is the shares of Exide, which moved up 18% in trade, ended almost at the day's high. Obviously, this move comes after an MOU which has been signed by Exide's subsidiary to develop lithium-ion batteries, and obviously this joint development will be done with Kia as well as Hyundai Motors. So two big brands in the Korean market, Kia and Hyundai, have signed an MOU with Exide Energy Solutions, which is a subsidiary of Exide. This will be basically for the electric vehicles expansion plans of the Hyundai group. Obviously, the Hyundai Motor and Kia local businesses aim to localize their EV battery production, specifically focusing on lithium-iron-phosphate cells in line with what they want to expand in terms of overall business. Remember, Maruti as well as Hyundai Motors, they don't have very large products in the electric vehicle segment, which means that they will be increasing their offerings moving ahead. And these are the brands which have been quite hot in the Indian auto market. So probably the street has been sensing that Exide will be able to develop new products in the lithium space, especially to power the main batteries of electric vehicles. Currently, obviously, we have the lead acid battery, in which Exide has a market leadership both in the replacement market as well as in the OEM space. But with this lithium ion tie-up, probably the expansion plans here would move at a very fast pace, and probably explains the reason why the stock ended 17% higher in trade, closing at almost 377 per share.
Well, with today's gain, Exide shares of Exide have doubled, on a 1 year basis, 107% kind of returns, if you look at the 1 year returns. But on that note, let's take a look at some of the other stocks that's on my list. Voltas, as I mentioned, AC stocks, were having a chill day in trade. Voltas, of course, at the start of the day was up somewhere around 10%, but I think ended higher by about 6% or thereabouts. It has recorded a 35% sales growth to over 2 million units in FY24. That's a milestone achievement that the company has made. In fact, it's the first domestic firm to cross that 2 million sales mark. The company has witnessed strong sales, year-round demand for cooling products. In fact, it has robust online and offline distribution network, and strong brand equity as well. And it has also launched new products which have aided its sales. In fact, if you look at the volume growth for the fourth quarter, it jumped by 72% in AC sales. When you talk about AC sales, in fact, it's Voltas Beko, the home appliances brand, also registered a volume growth of over 50% in the fourth quarter. The company is also expanding its retail and distribution network to cater to its product portfolio. In fact, the Tata Group stock, if you look at the way it has performed, It is up 60% in the last 1 year. In fact, on a YTD basis itself, Yatin, the stock has jumped 33%. And another factor to this contributing to this rally is the forecast of extreme heat wave in the month of April to June, which is something that is pushing up AC sales and cooling product sales, and which is what is aiding the rally in the stock of Voltas. And it also had a rub-off effect on other stocks like Symphony, Blue Star. All these stocks were also rallying by 3 to 6% in today's session, Yatin.
Absolutely, and a great trading session, especially for the F&O stocks. So both Voltas and Exide, Nandita, have done well in trade. Obviously, we had laggards like Wipro as well as Bandhan Bank also, which have been in headlines for the trade today. But clearly, you need to log into Moneycontrol for all the latest updates, news, views. For more, stay tuned to Moneycontrol. We'll see you tomorrow, and Nandita will be presenting a whole host of stocks to watch out for tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m.
Thanks a lot for watching. Come back again and join us at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.